Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Angela's Homeschool. First Angela's Homeschool. We're talking today about homeschooling field trips and why we introduce what we're going to be talking about, because you're going to be hearing it. I don't know why I always have to introduce what we're talking about, but here's what we're talking about. We're talking about homeschooling and field trips. This, I think, is one of the coolest facets of homeschooling. One moment. Uh-oh, I just called Cheryl. You hate when you accidentally call somebody. All right. Well, anyway, one of the best facets of homeschooling that I think there is on the face of the world is the field trips. I mean, if you're lucky enough to have your own RV, you can pack up and go west, young man. Go to the Rockies. There's so many different ways to do a field trip. Now, yesterday we were ill. I mean, Mommy was ill. We had a field trip scheduled for the courthouse, which I think is really good. Now, for those of you that are not in a co-op, it doesn't hurt to start a support group where when most field trips take 8 or 10 people, that they have a certain requirement, unless you have 14 kids. You know, getting a support group for field trips like this is a really good idea. You know, there's just so much that can be learned, and can't tell you how much I am in support of field trips. They're golden. You know, you hands-on. Those kids that are multisensory, to go hands-on. Many different types of field trips. Matter of fact, we're planning with my brother later is to go to the National Diamond Mine. We're going to do a unit on lava, on volcanoes, on earth science. You know, the National Diamond Mine is situated in Arkansas between Fort Smith and Little Rock. And all these diamonds come up from a lava tube. There used to be a volcano long, long time ago. And now it's Arkansas. And they drill the land. They do some upheaval of the soil. And naturally, these diamonds just come to the forefront, to the top. The cream rises to the top. So I really want to encourage those homeschool families that, or families that are consider homeschooling, to consider field trips. Now, if your husband or your wife travels quite a bit, say they travel for business reasons, this is a really good way to get more exposure for your children. Oftentimes, the business will allow you to bring your family, you know, or instead of flying, you can drive. Yeah, there are some options. And Disney has special dates for homeschoolers. So if you're going east or west, yeah, this might be a good option. You know, take your vacation right after your business trip. It's wonderful. Think about this. Think about the possibilities. I think my children have learned so much when they've done the field trips. Like even just going to the airport. Excuse me, I'm making a little bit of noise. I'm having to go meet up with our homeschool group in just a short while. This is our homeschool support group that I'll be going to. And I'm looking for my base. You know, it's important to do your multitasking. We did our lessons earlier. The kids complained. They said they were tired. Well, they shouldn't have stayed up so late. It was hard to get them to go to sleep, which brings me to another point. Stability and having a set schedule. It's very important. Extremely important. We had 2 deaths in my family last week. That's why I've been a little bit remiss to be on here. 2 deaths. And for my youngest, who's recovered from the autism spectrum but is slipping back into it, please remember her. You know, this was detrimental. I mean, to get her to understand death and try to use this as a learning experience, you know, the way that different people grieve, because her family is so much different from our family. And speaking about my late sister-in-law, and it's hard to say my late sister-in-law. All right. Well, that's it for now, and I will talk to you later. Thank you and goodbye.